The 40 acres in Idaho is now ours. The adventure begins. The last time I enjoyed moving was about 50 years ago when I was in college and could still move in the trunk and the back seat of my car. Those days are long gone. The first thing we have to do is go to South Dakota for our granddaughter's wedding. So on the way through Idaho, we drop off our camper. On our trip, we had lots of time to discuss priorities and how we wanted things to go. We would live in our 27-foot camp trailer, and so our first priority was to build an outhouse, and then Rob needed to build a road. We needed to install our solar system. We had to order containers for storage. We needed to build a goat pen. The goats have to have a barn. We need to have a well for water. That would be really nice. We need a septic system, and we need to build a shop. And hopefully all of this will be done before the snow comes. It's the end of August now, and we're probably pretty safe in September, but any time in October it could snow. Our advice, be flexible, because this is what actually happened. Our first loaded trip from Oregon to Idaho, Rob used our white 450 Ford pulling our 42-foot trailer. I had the red 350 Ford with loaded stock racks, and I pulled different trailers. Our fastest trip was 6.5 hours, and our longest was the last trip on November 1st. We came down the river road, Highway 12, from Kamiah, and there'd been a wreck, so we got to the property at 1 a.m. Ugh. It had rained while we were gone, and Rob didn't notice me as I walked under the awning, and he lifted it to dump the water. And I screeched as gallons of ice-cold water came gushing down on top of my head. In between moving trips, Rob is building the road and leveling the ground for the storage containers and the proposed shop. On September 3rd, we have the place water witched, and the guy says he thinks we'll have water at 300 feet plus. Ooh. On September 5th, our electrical lines are put in, and video 5 previous to this explains why we ended up going with electricity instead of solar. The well driller also showed up on September 5th and said that we would have our well at the beginning of October. Rob's hired on to run a D8 cat spreading pit run rock on a road, and for a different guy, he's operating a dump truck with a pup, hauling asphalt and rock chips, and he's also running a mini excavator, piling brush and opening up four-wheeler roads. Rob is totally unhappy living in the 27-foot camp trailer, and I'm opposed to spending money on anything else, but he finally talks me into going and looking for a fifth wheel. We find a 33-foot Teton fifth wheel in Hamilton, Montana that we both like. After 2 trips, we bring it to our property, and we're very happy that we did because we like it very much. On September 30th, Rob makes 13 trips with the dump truck, rocking our road. We're not done, but it's a good start. And we're very grateful for a previous employer who allows him to use the equipment. On October 7th, the gun safe makes the trip. It chips backwards coming up a hill out of Oxbow. And what is it squishing? We have no idea. The white Ford acts up again. I pull the traveling goat barn with the boys this trip. We schedule our arrival after dark, since the goat fence isn't finished and I don't want to turn them out until daylight. I was so excited to bring them to our property because they can run around loose, eating grass and trees. I was sure they'd think they'd died and gone to heaven. We wake up to 2 inches of new snow the next morning, and Rob says the goats will think they've died and gone to Siberia. On October 13th, Rob heads to Halfway for another load. I don't want to leave the goats more than one night, so I stay behind. While he's gone, I use the log splitter and cut up about 3 cords of wood. Then I start brushing trees with my handy-dandy little DeWalt battery-operated power saw, which I just love. It has 3 batteries, but I usually wear out before they do. We return on October 17th to find that we have 5 mice in the traps in our camp trailer. Within a couple of days after the cat's arrival, we haven't seen a mouse since. The snow turns to rain, and it's pouring down rain, and Rob wants to get the Stealth off the car trailer into the shed. Unfortunately, the Stealth doesn't run, so I have to get in the Stealth as he pushes it off the trailer up into the cabin. But we make it, but it's a sloggy, muddy yuck. I must admit I've never had two freezers sitting in my front yard before. On October 22nd, Rob started teaching me how to put tin on the outhouse, and on October 23rd, we staked out the goat barn. We've accomplished 3 of our priorities. We're still moving. Come back next time to see if we get everything done before the snow flies. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. See you next time.